Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about their new Star Wars TV shows, the new Star Wars movies in the works, such as their new trilogies and spin-off films, etc., by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that yes, we do know that they are now currently in a phase of desperation and damage control to really get the ball rolling again when it comes to Star Wars. What they really want to do is that they really want to make sure that Star Wars can remain intact and become more successful than ever before. Even Bob Iger talked about this a couple of months ago, stating that they are now just figuring out exactly what they can do with Star Wars and the potential that this franchise really has. Now, everything beyond Disney Plus, such as the Star Wars movies and the video games and the books, the novels and the comics, it's all going to come together and will develop this new expanded universe that will be led by Jon Favreau, George Lucas, and Dave Filoni. Now, what's even all the more exciting is that we've got The Mandalorian Season 2, rolling out, every single week, new episodes, and I honestly cannot wait to see exactly what Season 3 and Season 4 is going to look like once that arrives on Disney+. Now, the thing that's quite concerning about Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy is exactly where her head is at, right? So, with that being said, now that the Skywalker saga is over, both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars universe and their new trilogy of movies. However, it's explained that as of right now, behind the scenes, Kathleen Kennedy has been very unhappy with creator Jon Favreau with The Mandalorian Season 2 and what he has planned for The Mandalorian Season 3. It's explained that Kathleen Kennedy has been in the talks with Bob Chapek in an attempt to get Jon Favreau fired and let go from the project, since she feels that Favreau is not paying enough respect to Pedro Pascal. So let me stop right here for a second. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard about the drama that's been happening behind the scenes at The Mandalorian. There's been a lot of stuff going on between, Lucasfilm and Pedro Pascal and all these different things happening. Obviously, things turned out to be quite okay for Season 2, but as for Season 3, a lot of fans have been very much questioning themselves, is Pedro going to make the cut? Is he actually going to come on board of The Mandalorian Season 3? I still have no doubt in my mind that he will. There is a lot of controversy around Pedro right now. I'm not going to get into that, but I did talk about this earlier. Pedro Pascal, by the way, there's a lot of criticism about him right now. Obviously, a lot of things happening behind the scenes of what he's actually demanding on set, of what's being refused, is also causing a lot of problems. We'll get into that in just a second. Now, further, it's said that Pedro Pascal wants more screen time without his helmet on screen, and that Favreau is refusing to do this in order to keep the Mandalorian as mysterious as possible in order to keep the quality of the character. Kathleen Kennedy is described to view this as irresponsible of Favreau and believes that Jon is making a terrible mistake by keeping Pedro's face masked for pretty much all of Season 2 and even Season 3, which is already planned out. So let's stop right there for a second. The fact that Kathleen Kennedy wants Jon Favreau fired from this project, all because the fact that Favreau wants to keep Pascal masked in the actual series, this really is a very poor, reason as to why Kathleen Kennedy would want Jon Favreau fired from The Mandalorian. It just makes no sense to me at all. It makes absolutely no sense at all in anybody's minds. To me, when you look at Boba Fett, when you look at, Din Djarin, these bounty hunters deserved to be masked. That's how they are as characters. You got to keep the mystery in there. And yes, we did get to see Boba Fett's face in The Mandalorian Season 2, but mind you, it took time to get to that level. We had him in the original trilogy. He was supposed to have his own Star Wars movie, and now it's being, of course, described that Boba Fett's going to have his own new Star Wars TV show, his own little spin-off TV show from the Mandalorian TV series. So keep an eye open for that. Now, further, it's said that Kathleen Kennedy wants Favreau fired immediately from The Mandalorian Season 3 specifically, and that Bob Chapek is said to refuse that decision by Kathleen Kennedy since she no longer has that type of power. Both Favreau and Kennedy are said to also have creative differences between each other on the show and its general direction for the Star Wars brand. Kennedy is described to also have been in the talks trying to get Pedro Pascal to step down from the Mandalorian series. So, once again, the fact that Kathleen Kennedy is trying to get Pedro off of the show because she believes that he deserves better, that's her point of view. My point of view is this. Pedro Pascal, was chosen to become the Mandalorian by Jon Favreau because Jon Favreau actually loves Game of Thrones. He's very much, a fan of that show. He loves what was done with the show. And he wanted Pedro to become a part of that and believe that he was the proper choice. So like I say, I think that everything related to Star Wars is that things really are evolving for the better now. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.